As a young man, I was a dancer, and that was one of the greatest parts of my life is, if you've seen the show Dancing with the Stars, that's the style and the kind of dancing I have done. Actually, I never really planned on being a police officer. I went to college and got a degree in fire science, and I was going to be a fireman. I would enjoy going to work and doing work just as much as I would enjoy coming home and being with the wife and the child. We had made plans to fly. I drove out to the airport, and he lived in Riverside, so he flew up into where I lived, and I met him at the airport. After that, I introduced him to my wife and to my child. Then we got into the airplane. He said that there was no problems or what have you, so we got to the end of the runway. We took off. We got a couple hundred feet into the air, and what happened was, now that I am a pilot and I do know how to fly, he had taken off. He had achieved too high an angle of attack for the airplane to continue to fly, and we lost lift under one of the wings. We rotated, and we did a one-point landing straight into the ground. My injuries were upper body. My head expressly was severely damaged, and the unique thing about that is the firefighters that responded would not work on me, and the police officer or the deputy sheriff that was there, he was writing out my death report, and it was only my wife coming up and saying, "That's my husband, work on him," that they even started to work on me. And they put me in the helicopter, flew me down to San Bernardino County, where the doctors put me into a hallway behind the emergency room and just waited for me to die. Spent the next 10, 12 years having surgeries and convalescing surgeries and more convalescing surgeries, and it took about 10, 12 years for that to finally take its course. A great opportunity. When I felt that I was recovered enough that I could try and go for employment, I went to the California State Department of Rehab. We are going to offer you a chance to go to any school you want to in California, any university, and we will pay for your education. I eventually chose Cal State University San Bernardino. The school is very well suited for persons with my needs. The bumps in the road, along with having to do everything that all the other students had to do, made me better qualified. It showed that I was determined to pass. It shows that I was a good student, and when I graduated this university, I had a fairly good GPA. When I graduated, my outlook towards getting a job, I measured against what I had received at school. I did not know any different. I was able to get a job as a peace officer. I was able to get any job that I wanted. I knew how to do things. But something was happening, and it was different, and that's when I started to ask questions. This is the genesis. This is the beginning. I was talking to him, and I said that there needs to be something done about the situation. And I said, minds matter. The rest just seemed to fall into place. I was told, be careful what you wish for because you will get it. I just went and I started to talk to people, and it started to happen. And the next thing I know, I found out there are so many good people out there. That's the one thing that keeps us so positive and keeps me so positive. The reaction I had when I went out to work wasn't actually negative, it was just what was accepted. The idea of the trip actually came from the fact that I have never gone anywhere by myself, done anything by myself. The farthest I ever really go is to visit a friend who lives just out of state. The song Route 66 was going through my head, and I said, hey, this would be great. There are some good universities and colleges that are on the way. Why don't I ride a bike, since I am now capable of standing without braces or canes or crutches? That was the big thing. I was now able to ride my motorcycle. And I said, actually, I think I could have fun doing this. Start spreading the word, talk to other colleges and universities, and maybe do press releases and talk to radio stations and TV stations in places like Albuquerque and Oklahoma. And all of a sudden, the whole idea just took off from that point. And I want to take my bike, which I have to thank B&B Motorcycles for helping me acquire, and they are going to build it and maintain it. But I'm going to be going from Santa Monica all the way to Chicago on old Route 66 as much as possible. And what I'm hoping for is I want to start the idea and get it into people's heads that the people that are different aren't really different at all.